Hey guys, this video I think is really one to kind of give you guys an idea of what changes in my life are going to be happening. Now, yes, I've told you guys about, me being trans and things like that, but a decision that I'm trying to make is moving across the country. And it's not an easy decision at all, but basically I'll give you guys a little understanding of where my life kind of went. Shortly after I came out as being trans, I was let go from my job in New York City. Um, One of my coworkers mentioned to my boss that I was trans, and within 2 days, I was let go for bullshit reasons. Um, I've been on 3 job interviews since then, and my very last job interview that I had, um, the person basically said, we are a conservative company, and basically gave me shit for having earrings at first. And in New Jersey we have laws that protect against discrimination, and that is a form of gender expression discrimination, and they're not legally allowed to do that. So basically, what I should be finding out tomorrow is whether or not I got the job. I like the company. I'm not going to go into details of who they are, but I'm afraid to work for a company that during the interview gave me a hard time. And as I said, I wasn't like showing up to an interview in a dress. I wore a suit and tie, something that I absolutely hated doing. Um, but the guy just gave me a hard time about it, and I'm not confident that I will have a worthwhile experience working for this company. And it's strictly based off of that job interview. And that job would require traveling all across, the Eastern Coast, from, Massachusetts to Connecticut to New York State to New York City to all across New Jersey to Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania. So it would have required a lot of driving, which I don't mind at all. I like driving my Prius that I always, gloat about. But the problem is in New Jersey, the cost of living is pretty damn high. Rent is very high because of its close proximity to New York City. Um, the other problem is the lack of jobs. New Jersey right now is, especially Bergen County, which I've lived pretty much all my life. Uh, it's the problem with Bergen County is a lot of major corporations in the past 5 years alone have left. BMW moved its headquarters from Bergen County down to South Carolina. You have other companies that are big printing companies. CNBC was in Bergen County, New Jersey, and they're moving. So a lot of jobs that are up here are moving elsewhere because New Jersey has extremely high tax rates and stuff. But besides that point, a few people have mentioned time and time again for the past month or so that I should consider moving out to San Francisco. Seeing as how, from what they're telling me, they're accepting of people who are LGBT. They're also a larger job market in California. I'm an IT professional. I've done systems administrator work. I've done IT consulting in New York City. I've done, network rollouts, management, built God knows how many servers. And, I'm a quick learner. So I'm at the point in my life where I really don't have anything holding me back here. I really don't. I have no job. I have really no place to call my own. I'm bouncing around multiple homes that family are allowing me to just crash until I get back on my feet. But it really comes down to I'm given an opportunity to really just change everything. Yes, I'm changing my freaking body to reflect, my real gender. But I think this is bigger in many ways. I really don't have any family that live out in California. All my family lives on the Eastern Coast. I don't, I mean, I have one friend who lives in Las Vegas, but, it seems that coming out as trans has really opened up my eyes to the people I surround myself with. I'm not saying anything negative towards the friends that I have and still have, but to be honest, my family could care less in many ways. I mean, of course, they'll miss me, but, for me, I don't really miss being misgendered wherever I am with them. I don't miss the consistent down talk that I get from them where my issues are just non-existent to them. And, it just, I don't know. This is something that I'm really feeling that I must do. And it's scary as hell because I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. I'm afraid that I'm going to jump into a brand new state, all the way on the other side, go from Atlantic coast to Pacific coast and fail miserably. Um, I have no debts right now, none whatsoever. I don't owe money to anybody. I don't owe money on a car. I don't owe any money for housing. I don't owe any money for any possessions that I own. I am debt free. But am I safe enough to move? I don't know. Some fears that I also have is where am I going to get HRT? And by the way, when I say HRT, it's estrogen and spironolactone. It's a 2 pill thing. But, right now I have a doctor all the way over here, and the doctor's in New York City with Colin Lord. But where am I going to get a doctor out there? I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of, missing out on HRT for a few months while I'm trying to get a doctor to approve, allowing me to continue my treatment. Um, I'm just afraid of a lot of things, and I think it's rational fear. I mean, of all the people that follow me here on YouTube, how many of you guys actually have tried moving all across the country and on top of that, changing your sex? That, I think, is not a common situation for people to go through. But I'm really thinking that it's something I should do. And it really comes down to the fact that tomorrow, as of this recording, tomorrow I should find out whether or not I got the job that I, am not too sure of. Yes, I'm sure that the work would be fine. I mean, I love doing IT work, but, I'm not sure of the people. And, I worked for a very abusive company prior. The one that I got let go from was very abusive. I can't, I'm not going to dive into what was said or what was done, but there is no doubt in my mind that it was very abusive behavior from my previous superiors. And it was completely unprofessional and completely uncalled for. But this is my life, guys. And I think what I want to do is what others have done. Basically vlogging, but not vlogging in a sense of, hey, look, I got a puppy. I mean, nothing like that, but more of like, hey, look, this is what I've done. To be able to look back and watch this video, maybe 6 months from now and say, ha, I had nothing to worry about. Things worked out. Or I could be looking back at this video saying, you were stupid for what you did. You should have stayed on the Eastern Coast. You got like killed or something. I mean, like, I'm afraid. I really am. But basically, the game plan is this, and this is something that I kind of figured out how I'm going to try to attack it. There are multiple ways I'm going to do it, but they all involve me driving. So yes, I am planning on driving all the way to California from New Jersey. I already estimated that it will take 7 tanks of gas on my Prius to do it. And each tank of gas will, depending on the prices of when I have to refill, will range from $30 to $40 each tank, which is not bad at all. That is actually really good because each tank gets me about 450 to 500 miles a tank. So I've done the calculations, and it would take about a day and a half to make the trip. And that's with like limited sleeping and not really resting much, which, you know what, to me it's like it's cool. It's a road trip. It's like this whole adventure. I mean, I've never really been anywhere but New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. I've been to Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. I've been to Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. That's it. That's all I've ever been to. Oh, of course, Vegas, but that's it. I've never been to, Arizona. I've never been to California. I've never really been to any of the mid states. And, going on this little road trip to start a new life, I think it's exciting in that way, where I get to finally see more of what our country is. My country is just fucking New York City. That's all I know. And to be able to see much more than what I'm used to, I think it's a worthwhile experience, and it's an experience that you really don't get many opportunities to do it. As I said, I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend right now. I have nothing tying me back here. So, why not? And I think it's more of the primary reason for moving out there would be for better job opportunities. And from, people are saying, oh, the cost of living there is high too. I'm like, it's about the same as New Jersey. So I'm kind of like going from the same to the same, but it really comes down to where am I going to get a job faster? Because I cannot continue what I'm doing right now. I've been unemployed since May, and I hate it. I hate it with all my heart. Like, I don't want to jump into, a job at Walmart or something like that when I have unemployment. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Going from a certain set pay down to like, all the way down here, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I've been pursuing jobs that are related to jobs I've already had. And, as I said, I've only been able to nail out 3 job interviews. And in that amount of time, it sucks, and I've tried expanding the horizon. I've tried expanding it to Pennsylvania, to New York State, to, Connecticut, Massachusetts. I've tried asking them to even look as far as Virginia, look for work that I will be able to do. And the staffing agencies I've worked with really haven't found me much. So I think what I am going to do is probably by the end of day tomorrow, I should find out if I got that job or not. By the end of this week, I will make the decision of whether or not I'm going to move out to California. And I'm scared. I've said it so many times in this video, but it's a fear that I really have. So I'm excited. If I do decide, I will make a video saying, look guys, I'm going to move to California. And I'm going to document it all. I have a phone. I'm going to, basically film as much as I can, film myself getting into my car and then saying bye to my family and, trying to start a new life. I mean, my family, they're kind of encouraging me to do it, which I think is telling me I should do it. I've heard from 5 different people that why not, you should do it. You should go to California. Move away from this state because the state really doesn't have anything left for me. And I can't help but feel that way. I can't help but feel that that's true. That's truly how I feel. And it's going to be a very big, exciting journey for me. And I hope to conquer it, I hope to look back at this and say, my life is better living in another state, I mean, on the other side of the country, than it is here. I've tried looking at all the positives. Living in California, I will be able to attend CES every year without major expense. Um, if I have family in Arizona, I could visit them more often instead of having to buy a plane ticket or drive 20 plus hours to visit. I could just drive 5 hours or 6 hours to visit. Um, and I think that's great too. So take care, guys. If any of you guys are actually from the California area, or most notably San Francisco, definitely drop a comment below and kind of tell me your thoughts on it. Like, is the job market that much better? Is it that difficult to live out there? Uh, you know, I know two people that will let me crash with them. Um, but they're not. Of course, they're not in California, but they're close enough. So I don't want to have to rely on others, but I really want to start anew. I want to start a fresh life, and I think the only way to do that is to just move on. So take care, guys. Look out for future videos, and wish me luck.